Welcome. So today I'm going to show you how to make these very easy, simple arm warmers, fingerless gloves with just some fur lining to make them look even fancier. This is going to be in a bulky yarn that I'm showing you today, but you can also do this in a smaller medium weight, medium 4 weight like this, and this is what they look like. You can make them any length with or without the fur. And let's get started. To make these gloves, all we have to do is make a rectangle that fits around your wrist, and these are going to be double crochet stitches in the back loop only, and that's it. And then the fur lining is just a single crochet around the top with the fur yarn, and that makes it look a little bit fancier. And they're very easy, and these are very warm with the bulky. The thinner ones are also very warm, so whichever method you want, and you make them as long and as wide as you need to for your arms. So the only counting you're going to have to do is when you decide how long, you can count so that they match, make sure they're the same length on both of them, and then after that you can just measure the square and then sew them up together. Actually, we're not going to sew them, we're just going to single crochet down the seam, and that'll be it. So let's get started. And today I'm using the bulky yarn with a size 8mm hook. This yarn I think called for a 9, but I just went down to an 8 because they're already going to be pretty chunky, which they are. You can do these with the medium 4, which I think I did with a 5 or 5.5. Whatever yarn, whatever size hook, this pattern works for any size, any yarn. And then of course your tapestry needle, don't even need a stitch marker, scissors, crochet hook, and you're ready. So I'm just gonna chain 22. Got my chain of 22. And then I'll double crochet all the way down, and I'm going to skip the first 2 chains from the hook. Those will be my turning double crochet, and in this third one I will start with my double crochet, my first double crochet stitch. And then just double crochet all the way down till you get back to the start of your foundation chain. Okay, I'm back to the start of my chain. This is what it looks like. And from here, I'm going to chain 2 to start my next row, turn, and from here on out, you're gonna just double crochet in just the back loop only for the rest of the rectangle. And I'm going to start in that very first stitch right next to my chain 2 in the back loop only. Like so, and I will do that all the way the rest of the way for the rest of the rectangle. And it'll immediately start the ribs, rows, ridges, like so. And you just keep on going, and when you get to the end of the row, chain 2 and start again. To do a double stitch, you just yarn over like so, put it in your stitch, pull through, and you will have 3 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through the first 2, and then yarn over again and pull through the second 2, and that's a double crochet. right, I've got my rectangle here. Now all we have to do is fold it, and then we're going to single crochet all the way down the seam, but where the thumb hole is, we're just going to slip stitch so that we can just keep going. I'll show you how to do that here. My seam or my end lines up where my tail is at the top where I'm starting, so I'm going to, of course, take this chance to stitch over the tail so I don't have to weave it in later. And I'm going to go 4 stitches down to where my thumb hole is and make sure they match on both of them. So I'm going to go 4 stitches down, and then I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches open, and then I'll start my stitches again. So I'll show you how I did that. So I put my sides together, and it doesn't matter. This is with the right side on the inside, so I'll have to turn these inside out, but whether you turn them inside out or put them right side together or not, they are gonna look the same, so you don't really have to worry about that. But I do have mine right side together, so I can turn them inside out when I'm done. And I'm gonna stitch over this tail because I like to do that every chance I get. So I'm just gonna go back into the stitch that I'm in just like that, just to make it easy, and just single crochet. And then I'm going to go 4 down, so I'm going to go through here like so, over that tail to, and that beginning chain side is a little weird to get into, but that's all right, just push it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can just cut that tail off there. So I'm going to move it. Actually, let's cut it down. Boop. So that's in weaved already, and then I'm going to skip 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to slip stitch into one side to keep that going, but leave the thumb hole. So I'm going to slip 1, slip 2, slip 3. Slip 4, slip 5, just onto that side, and then just kind of make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 5 on that side, and then just make sure your ends are matched up. And you want to make sure that the ends are matched up down here, so even if that means your little thumb hole you might have to line it up a little different and it looks like it's not going to line up, just make sure your ends are lined up. And then start single crocheting again into both sides like so, and then all the way down, single crochet again, not slip stitching, and then just line these, keep these ends lined up. Chunky yarn's really easy, the medium weight yarn's really easy too, it just takes a little bit longer. These chunky ones I did in about an hour and a half, maybe less. But the thinner yarns, of course, take a little bit longer. Okay, so I'm at the end now, but before I tie it off, you just want to make sure that everything fits and is the right size. So slide your hand into there. Yes, fits like the other one. Yes, yes, everything looks good. And that's what's going to look like before we add the fur. It's got like a little bit of a separation here, so I'm just going to go into those last ones, which are like the side stitches, and pull through there too. Oh, hold on. And pull through there with them. And then I will tie it off, and I'll just leave that tail because I will stitch over it with my fur, and then we're just going to move on to the fur. Adding the fur is going to be pretty simple. We're just going to slide it into the top somewhere. I'm going to stitch over the end like I like to do, and single crochet around the top, and that's it. And I'm using the thinner yarn. You can use the thicker as well. That'll probably look a little bit better, but it all looks good. So I'm just going to stick your crochet hook in anywhere at the top, and it's not going to be evenly stitched up here, you know, because it's the side. So just go into whichever holes, and I would go down into like the second row because that way you can kind of cover up those gaps at the top. So like this one, I'll start right here, and I'm just gonna pull it through. And then I'll leave my tail over here and I'll stitch over it, and we're gonna go through this one right here, this one here, and down here, and then down here, and just try to keep it even like that because it's gonna be the sides. So it's gonna be a little tricky to find your holes, but they're there. And holding that tail. I like to hold in the tail so I don't have to weave in later. I'm very lazy. And just keep going down into like the second row stitches. It's gonna look a little gappy, but the fur is gonna help fill that in. So just keep on going all the way around like that. And if you get to a part where it's like you either have to do it too close or too wide, do it too close so that it's not leaving gaps in your fur. And I'm back to the row. I'm just gonna go in here, and then I'll just stitch into the same one I started, and then just pull it through. Let me cut this off, and then just pull it off, and then just weave this in. And we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side, and I'll come back and show you, and we'll weave the ends and be done. And of course, I like to stitch over my tail, so I'll just stitch over this tail while I stitch over the other tail, and then only have this one and this one left when I'm done. You will see. Oh, too short. So I'm gonna hold this tail and oops, stitch over both of them so I don't have to weave them in later. And we're just going to do the same thing all the way around the other edge. Single crochets. And I will show you how it looks when we get back. All right, all finished. It didn't take very long. I think this whole glove maybe took 30-45 minutes. I'm just going to weave these tails in and then turn it in, right side out. And again, you don't have to do that. It's going to look the exact same, but I did put my right sides together so I can go ahead and do that. And just going to weave this in here at the top somewhere. And I stitched over my other ends so I don't have to weave anything but the last two of these fur. These scissors suck. Of the fur lining here. And that's it. So simple. And now you're a wizard, Harry. And let's weave these in like this. Alright, turn them inside out. Oh, trim this little end here. That's one of the ones I stitched over. Okay. And that's it. Nice and toasty. There you have it. Harry Potter gloves. And nice and toasty, easy to make quick gifts. You can make it any size, any kind of yarn. Any color combos make great for sports teams too, that kind of stuff. There you go.